Hello. I wanted to talk today a little bit about an example that we've had recently where entering Momo's world has helped us to navigate something that was causing her a little bit of distress. So, not exactly sure why, but cars in our driveway have become a thing for her. And I think some of it might be that her knowing where her keys are to her car gives her a sense of control and knowing that she has some autonomy and could potentially leave. That's sort of her go-to threat, I guess is the best word. Whenever she feels slighted or reaches a level of confusion about what is happening at our house, she's just like, well, where are my keys? I'm out of here. She hasn't driven in 2.5 years and will never drive again, but that's not a conversation that we've ever had or needed to have. It's just evolved. But if we go away and leave her with the caregiver and there's cars in the driveway, that has become super agitating for her. So we have now learned if we're going to go away, we move all the cars out onto the street and hide all the keys, and the caregiver just tells her that she said we could use her car to get to the airport or to get wherever we were going because our car was being worked on. So bending the truth again for the purpose of bringing her some peace. So somewhere along the way, she got it in her mind. We just live in a house in a neighborhood, but she has lived in HOA neighborhoods, and so she's convinced that there's an office. The office people send out memos or do stuff in our neighborhood, and there is no such office, but we just sort of go along with it. So she somehow got it in her head that the office people sent out something that said that people shouldn't park in their driveways and that they should park on the street. And that lasted for months. And she would look down the street and see people parking both in the street and the driveway and just sort of be in awe that people were ignoring this decree from the office, including us. And we weren't sure how to navigate that. We couldn't understand really where the idea came from. And then she came up with a justification in her head recently that it was because the fire department said that they would need access to people's driveways in case of a fire, and having cars on the street would get them out of the way so they could respond faster, which is logical, makes sense. But we just anticipated this was going to be a building sense of tension for her as we continued to park in our driveway. And so rather than try to combat or have conflict about there is no office and there is no decree, we decided that this was one of those times where it would make the most sense to join her truth, enter her reality. And so I wrote a note that said, we got a memo from the office, and they checked back in with the fire department, and the fire department confirmed that actually it's okay for people to be either in the street or the driveway, and that they have the ability to manage fires no matter where people are parking. And it was just a handwritten note for her, and it worked. And we just leave it out, and she reads it every now and then, and just sort of like planting that seed of new knowledge in her reality over and over, and it seems to have worked. And we thought, if we need to, we'll type up some Word document, make up some address for the office, and send it to her, even in an envelope or something, so it looked official. But so, yeah, just an example of when there's no point in arguing or trying to prove that you're right with her, because she has created a reality in her head, and that's valid to her. And so we chose to just work within that reality to find a solution. So we're parking where we want. The fire department's good. The office people are good. Love them. And most importantly, Momo has peace about where our cars are parked. So would love to hear other examples of what people have done with similar situations. And I hope you have a good day. Thanks.